that allows us to quickly taste something and then identify it and then say it or write it down. And I think as baristas, you already have this. You've got this whole lexicon of words and coffee words and food words already. And I think the most important thing as a cupper is being able to translate that within ourselves and be able to write it down, right? And then, does everyone know what it is so far? Yeah. This is also a note that we use in coffee. Has anyone ever used this note when describing coffee? Yeah.
I'm doing that. I know what it is.
Yep. And this is an essential oil. There's a kit here in the conference called the Linné kit. Has anyone used it yet? And I would say if you can get your hands on that this weekend, because it's a very expensive kit. Like, not many people own one. I don't even know how much it is. It might be like $500 or something like that. But it's all flavors and notes of coffee. And you just smell them and you identify them. It's a really good training tool. And it's really hard to find a Linné kit. So I would use, okay. So we all kind of know what this is. Okay, so just jump in. Like what do you smell? How would you describe this? What's that?
Spice.
Spicy, yeah, spice, yep. Warm, yep, definitely. Invigorating. Nostalgic, do you know what nostalgic is? Like what specific?
It's like cousin.
Yeah.
Like kind of sweet.
Yep.
I would say white or like, I don't know. What Morgan was saying yesterday about colors, like brown.
Yeah. Love that. I don't cup in color, but I do have I've cupped with a lot of people who cup in color, and I'm just so jealous. Like, I want to cup in color. But yeah.
Like, opened my eyes yesterday. I was like, color.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. So this is.
To me, it reminded me of my mom's sour cream coffee cake.
Yeah, because she used this. Yeah. So this is cinnamon. Really, it's cinnamon. Yes, yeah. But cinnamon is kind of woody, right? Like, you think of a cinnamon stick. It's warm. It's brown. It's spicy. Yeah. So often, like, if you're cupping with people and maybe you have a form or something like that, someone might say baking spice, right? That's a really common flavor, right? And then as you get to cup more, I would challenge you, like, okay, baking spice, like which one?
Yeah.
Is it nutmeg? Is it cinnamon? Is it apple, coffee? Like, so, when you're sort of broader, yeah, you're going to use things like baking spice, but then you want to challenge yourself to sort of identify it. Yeah. So that's that one. All right, so this one, we're going to go in a little bit different direction. Okay, yeah. And you can do this even when you're eating. You'll be the most annoying dinner partner. But like, salads are really good for this exercise, right? Like, you're eating a salad and you're like,
Is this a
tomato. Okay, how would I describe this tomato without saying tomato? Or citrus, right? Like,
You don't want to say tomato, yeah.
oof. I'm gonna have to, yeah, we might get it on our hands, but this is a really good exercise, just again, because we're trying to build our palates and sort of communicate with ourselves, right? And get that language quickly and build our lexicon in our brains. You can smell the inner part of your arm, and it'll sort of clear your nose a little bit. You can also sniff a glass of water. Some people do that, and you're just trying to, like, reset. The reason why this is, like, if we do lotions or we wear perfume, we probably don't put a lotion, like, on our inner arm. So it's kind of a neutral skin place. If you are doing it, if you ever do the Q, or if you do, like, triangulations, like, I would really suggest doing it. It really does work. So it's so funny that you did that. Were you trained to do that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. Okay, so can you describe this without using the name of this? Flowers. Floral. Yeah. Soap.
It reminded me of the I used last week.
I think I heard you. A massage. Yeah. Calming. Definitely floral. Anyone want to guess what this is? lavender. No, you can do color. Like if what I guess I was getting at is that not everyone does cup in color. Like I think it's just like a certain way of thinking. Like there's just people who, when they taste or smell, they identify with a color. And if you do, you should totally like write down purple because you'll know what that means. Like you'll translate it for yourself. And I think in the beginning you have to do a lot of translating, right? Like so, like if we were cupping and someone said, it reminds me of a massage, and then later you said it's lavender, she's gonna go, that's what it is, massage lavender. You know, so I think if you cup in color, like not that you cup in color, but some people do. If they say purple, then like you're gonna be like, oh, my purple's lavender, and you'll start translating it in your own mind.
Whatever language you use to tidy down, and because nobody else can understand your notes. Yeah, no, that's fine.
Yeah. Sorry.
I have a coworker who she has a really hard time describing her flavors. So then I've worked with her for a very long time, so I can kind of translate. But she'll be like, "Oh, this reminds me of like a babbling brook going over like cool rocks or something like."
Ooh, how do you translate that?
That was like, oh, like because she describes like the feelings that she's getting from the flavors.
Yep.
And then that usually I'm just like, I understand what you're saying.
Right.
But like, yeah, being able to take that and then go a little bit further with it.
Right.
She's getting better.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think we all start that way, right? And I think the goal is to move beyond it, and so to translate it, it's fine. However you start is perfectly normal.
Yeah.
But I think the goal is to get into words that other people are using to describe coffee, and that's the whole point of cupping, right? That's the whole point of a cupping form, is that, you know, whether you're a barista or an importer or an exporter or a producer, like we're using the same words, you know, and that we can start understanding each other. Okay, so the last thing that we're gonna smell. Okay, so yeah, what is this? I live in Boston, and 4 days before I came here, I bought a sort of like browning banana, and I was like, because I really wanted to use it, and then I put it in this bag, and then last night it still wasn't doing well, so I punched it a bunch of times in my hotel room. So this is a beat up banana from Boston. But I'm just going to tell you why I wanted to bring this, because this cupping is called tasting trouble, right? So we're going to start talking about coffees that maybe have some issues, right? So I wanted you guys to smell something that you knew, right? Everyone knows what a banana is. Everyone knows what bananas smell like. But this is kind of like obviously a banana in trouble, right? Like this banana's got some issues, but it's still, I want to smell it because I want us to start thinking about, okay, it smells like a banana. But then I want you to be thinking, like, how would I describe this without using the word banana? Okay, so same real exercise. Also, I really hate overripe bananas. Like, this is really a tough one. So I'll just even hold the whole bag if it's all right with you. Okay.
I love the smell of rotten banana.
Do you? Oh, I was like, oh. These are the two volunteers for this session. This is Kaylee and Scott.
Hey, everyone.
And actually, why don't you just like a quick little brief bio of you too, just so that they know who you are.
Cool. Hi, I'm Kaylee. I live in New York, and oh, hey, New York.
What up? I've been in the specialty coffee industry for like 17 years. I actually met Gerra when I was a teenager in Boston. And I sell Slayer espresso machines on the East Coast.
I'm Scott. I've been in coffee for about 20 years now. I worked at La Marzocco for 10 years, started La Marzocco home product manager on Linea Mini. I also roasted and was a barista for a while. And now I'm starting up a branch for Mazur USA, the grinder company. So we just started in January. Yeah.
Nice.
And I live in Walla Walla, Washington. So middle of nowhere.
All right. Heard of it. Yeah, when Kaylee and I were just setting up, like we were talking about like her first cupping, and it wasn't supposed to be a defect cupping, but it ended up being a defect cupping. And it was such a crazy
Full circle moment.
It's a full circle moment. Okay. So, how would you describe this? Anyone? Without using the word banana.
Actually, for me, it brought me right back to when I first stick my head into a bag of green coffee.
Really?
Like, I'm a roaster, so I'm often sticking my head in a fresh bag.
Just get a nice whiff. Yeah.
For me, I was like, oh, why does that smell so identical to it?
Wow. Yeah. Okay. I think I've done that too. Well, I'm stuck my head in again, and it's very agricultural. Kind of hay. I can get a lot of hay notes. Like barn. Yeah, vegetal. Yeah. Not always pleasant, right? Like it's So maybe that's the connection. Like
Smell past that potential.
Right. Right. Anyone else? Would you describe this? What's that?
Earthy.
Earthy.
Yeah.
See, that might be her. Yeah. Yeah.
There's like a sour. Kind of a tang.
Yeah.
I smell like sugars, so like I'm assuming like the toast.
Yep.
Just a lot of sugar buildup, kind of like maple syrup.
Yeah.
Or like molasses kind of vibes.
Yep.
Ferment.
Like yes.
What did you say?
Fermentation.
Fermentation. Yeah. Right. I got yeasty. Like that was the word, yeasty for me. Yeah. Yeah.
Banana bread, but that's redundant, so.
Yeah. Yeasty. Yeah. But we knew what it is. Like even without looking at it, like, you'd still probably, even if you couldn't see it, know. Okay, that's a banana. But it's a banana in trouble, right? Like we don't want to eat this banana, but we'd still identify it as a banana. You can make banana. Yeah, if anyone wants this, I can't wait to get rid of it. My hotel room smells like banana. Yeah. Yeah. But I think this is also like sort of showing that like really you can go into your own kitchen, right, and start smelling your spice rack or things that are in your fridge and just start describing them to yourself so that you can sort of build up this sort of lexicon of flavors and get that communication going between your brain and yeah.
Ready to roll?
Yeah. Well, we're going to smell them first, but yeah, you can fill them up. It's fine.
Okay.
Okay. So we're going to do 2 cuppings today. This first cupping is identical on both tables. There's 3 coffees. They're numbered 1, 2, and 3. 1 on each table is the same coffee. 2 is the same one. 3 is the same one. So I just did a bunch of them so that we could all sort of saddle up and not all be cupping the same. There goes my voice. It's going to go. So there's no defects on this table. This is our first table. We're going to talk about a few different qualities. Anyone have an idea why we're cupping blind? No idea why we're cupping blind? Like why do people cup blind? Like why am I not telling you what this is? Right, there's no bias. If I told you what this is, as soon as you put your nose in it and started cupping it, you're gonna be like, oh, that smells. You're like, so cupping blind is another great way to start cupping, right? So you bring out. When I first started cupping, like I had a real bias against Sumatra. So if I saw Sumatra on the table, my brain always like, I'm not gonna like that coffee, right? When we're cupping, we're always trying to help the producer. Right? We're not trying to find problems. We're hoping to not find problems, right? We want to buy the coffee. We want to approve the contract. So we're not really hunting for issues, but when issues are there, we really need to know. We have to identify them and know what they are. So again, no defects on this table, but I will say like there's going to be probably one coffee that you're going to love and it's going to feel really familiar to you because it's probably a quality of coffee that you work with. And then the other 2, I don't think you probably work with these kinds of coffees. But these coffees are all coffees that I've sold. People are roasting these coffees and they're using them. And we'll talk about after the cupping, we'll talk about how they're using them. So if you haven't cupped before, we're going to start by smelling the coffee. So you're going to smell each cup from each set, but you're not going to move from table to table. So like, let's say like you guys, you're just going to stay at this table. Okay, and then you guys can divide up amongst yourselves on these 2. But this side is the same as that side. So the first thing you want to do is you want to smell each cup, and you do that by getting really close to the cup, right? So one of the rules in cupping is if any of us end up with coffee like on our nose, like we tell each other. Like I'm going to tell you. I'm like, you have coffee all over your nose, okay? Because that's how close I want you to get to the coffee. If you start smelling up here, you're not going to smell anything. You have to get like, and like really huff it. And so you're going to go through each one. This is the same coffee, but the reason why we do that is like maybe this cup has a problem, right? If we only cupped this one, we'd be like, this coffee has a problem, right? So it might just be this cup. So we're going to cup 3 We're going to smell 3. We're going to smell these 2, and we're going to smell these. And then you can smell this is when that arm might come in handy, right, to reset our palates. Usually you go through it once, but feel free to go through it twice if you want to really get it, because they're really similar in some ways. So like as new cuppers, you might be like, oh, it smells like coffee, right? But then if you go through it a second time, you might start developing, okay, this is the difference. So why don't you self-divide up and get your noses in and start smelling these coffees. And then we'll go to the next step, okay?
Same. I'm just, I didn't have this.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I just don't want them to bump you.
Only gonna be in now. This is
Oh, I should have mentioned this too. So we don't want to pick up the cups. Again, I'm gonna be a little stickler on the rules. So I want you guys to start cupping like with the right way. If we touch the cups, guess what? I have cinnamon on my hands right now. If I touch this cup, I'm gonna put cinnamon on that bowl, and then you're gonna smell cinnamon, and you're gonna smell. So we don't touch the cups, just get right in there.
And the reason why we have 3 of us that are the same.
Yep.
For a reason.
Yeah, so like, it's to give the coffee a fair chance, right? So if there was an issue in this cup, and we only were cupping this, you bet this coffee has an issue.
Got it. So
But-
it's the same one.
Exactly. But this coffee might not have an issue, just like this cup has, or maybe one bean. Yeah. So in a traditional cup, if you're cupping formula, usually it's 5 cups
Of the same.
of the same thing. Yeah. When you're cupping too, one thing that I find, especially if you're cupping a lot of coffees, if you open your mouth, you tend to smell a little bit better. So if your mouth is really tight, you might not smell this. But if you just drop open your mouth, it sort of helps you smell. So now that you've smelled the coffees, you're probably already starting to make some opinions about the coffees, right? It might just be really simple, like, I like that one, I don't like that one. Or you might be starting to think, like, I think I know what this coffee is. So now we're gonna add water. So Kaylee, do you wanna pour? Oh, actually, I'm gonna have them pour. Does anyone wanna pour?
I want to go sniff.
Yeah, Sniff, you wanna pour? All right, come over.
I actually want to.
I need 3 pours. Okay, go. So we're gonna, I'll start with 1, and we're gonna start at the same time, and we're gonna time it for 4 minutes. And when you're pouring, you don't wanna pour it too fast, you don't wanna pour it too slow. You're not making latte art, right? Like you wanna get that water in there. We'll sort of get the water in as quickly as possible. You're gonna go all the way to the top without spilling. You're gonna spill, right? We all know what happens. But, so ready, go. And you wanna saturate all the grinds when you're pouring. So, maybe you have to move your water stream a little bit. Awesome. So this is now gonna be 4 minutes, and then when the timer goes off, I'd like you to saddle up to 1 bowl, and you're gonna break. So breaking is using the cupping spoon. Again, we're gonna get as close as possible to the cup, and we're gonna peel back the crust. At that moment is like your one opportunity to get this like huge amount of smell, right? This is your chance. So you wanna get as close as possible and really get that big, deep breath in there. And then you're going to rinse your spoon. Every time you touch a bowl with your spoon, you have to rinse afterward, because as we get into the defects, when we get into issues, if this guy has an issue and I don't rinse it, I'm gonna drag it into this cup, right? So as you're building your muscle memory as a cupper, every time you touch a bowl, you're rinsing. Touch, rinse, touch, rinse. We are going to be slurping right out of the bowls. Does everyone have it's okay if you don't want to do that. You can do a transfer where you can take the coffee and put it into a cup and just drink it out of the cup. Some people, they might just feel like they don't want to be in contact with everyone else, but when you cup, we're all going to be sharing the same bowls. So if you have an issue, there is a transfer method, and I can go over that with you. You can just ask me. Yeah, please fill those too. After we break, then we're going to clear. So I'd say like any of you that are either want to learn how to clear or you like clearing, I'm going to ask you to jump in again. And we're just going to clear the top crust. That crust that we broke, we now need to get rid of. So we're going to clear that crust. On the clearing, I'd actually prefer people who have not done it before, because I think this is a really, really great opportunity to learn how to do it. And then we're going to let it cool for a little bit. When it's cooling, you can, more than welcome to go back in and smell it. And then we're going to start tasting. So why don't we saddle up to the cup that we're going to break? So hopefully, yeah, just, you'll do that one, you'll do this one. So 3 people on this one, 2 on this one. You can smell it now too. You're not going to break it yet. The timer says, yeah. So you're going to grab a spoon. So when you break, you get really, really, really close, and you're going to go like, you're breaking the crust, and you're going to get your nose super close, and it's going to waft into. You're going to get this moment like, that's the smell, and that's it.
Well, just one of them.
Yep, just one of them, exactly. Yeah, you do have to sort of get T-Rex arms a little bit. Normally you wouldn't do it this way, but I just really want you all to have the opportunity to break. All right, so it's just 5 seconds. Okay. All right, so really, really, really close. Get that spoon in there and push it and get in there. And I want to hear you smelling. And then if you want, you can break that one. Just rinse, and you can break that one. Rinse. If you're gonna touch another cup, make sure you rinse. Did you?
I didn't
Okay.
touch it,
Okay. Yeah. So go ahead and break the other ones if you all had a chance to break. Just make sure you rinse in between. And you want to break. So like you're doing me a favor, you can break because you want to. Yeah. There you go. Yeah, and you can break that one.
You can only break one.
Yes, exactly. You can only break once. Yeah.
Because I did it the second time and it smelled less.
Yeah, right? So it's that one opportunity where it's all like sort of coming up at you. Good. All right, so since you're here, let's clear. So I'll show you how I clear. You can really clear however you want, but I'll show you. So we're gonna clear into these little cups. I clear with teaspoons. Can you break that?
Absolutely.
Thank you. So I do like a back-to-back spoon thing, and I just like, oops, I just do it so far away. I'm just trying to get the very, very top, and then throw it into your paper cup, rinse, and then you move to the next one. And rinse. You get one, you need one. Let's clear. So what you're gonna do is you're just gonna rinse. I do a back-to-back where I bring it sort of around. I'm just trying to get the very, very, very top. And then, can someone give me a paper cup? And then we're just gonna dump it into a paper cup. And then you're gonna rinse and go to the next one. Like, don't obsess over these like little algae-looking things. At the end, you can take doesn't it kind of remind you of algae? Yeah. You can take the back of your spoon and sort of dance it over.
Sure.
And it will get rid of it. All right, so yeah, so clear. Do you need another spoon? Let's clear them up. Go ahead and jump in. And just remember to rinse between every cup. This is very nice. So if you get like these little sort of algae spots, you can just take the back of your spoon and sort of like just dance it over. And it tends to like cling on there, and you can just rinse it off. So
It's supposed to be in one go, or twice.
and that looks great. I mean, if you want to get rid of that, you can. This is where I feel like baristas get really particular. They're like, it has to be perfect. It does not have to be perfect, but I totally appreciate that you want it to be. And then just rinse. Good. All right, so maybe, can we clear the rinse cups and maybe refill them? So you can sort of see the flow of cupping. So like we just dumped, that was water that was a little bit mucky. So now we're gonna refill our clearing bowls. Yeah. What are you gonna do? And then we're gonna spit into these cups. So when you're cupping, sometimes in the beginning people like to just swallow it. That's fine. As you cup more and more, like you just can't. You have to spit it. You can't cup 80 coffees, and you'd be like flying by the end of the cupping. So I'd say like it's good to get into the habit of spitting. So we're going to. It's really hot right now, so we're not going to do it quite yet. But we're going to take a little bit. We're going to slurp it. So we're going to try to push the coffee across our tongue. If you're not making a noise, you're not doing it right. Okay. So if you're just like you're just getting the tip of your tongue to taste it, and that's the goal is to push it all the way across your tongue so that your tongue can taste it in different places. So it's a slurp. It's and then spit, rinse, next swirl. And then this is where I want you guys to start thinking about the coffees, right? So as you're cupping this number one, like even if it's one word, right? Wood.
Okay.
Chocolate. Just one word that you're going to come away with. So you'll go through them, and then you can come on. I would cup the table twice, right? So as it cools, it's going to open up a little bit, and you're going to have another opportunity to taste. It's super, super hot right now, so we'll probably need another a minute maybe. I do sort of that baby bottle test, like with the inner wrist, like if it feels too hot, it's too hot. We're going to taste the coffee next. It's still entirely too hot, so I don't want to do it yet. But when you're cupping, you're going to do the same sort of protocol where as you go from cup to cup, you're going to rinse in between, and you're going to slurp, right? So as you taste the coffee, if you're not making this big slurping noise, you're not tasting the coffee, right? So it's like this is not a moment to be polite where you're like, because then you're just tasting the very tip of your tongue. We really want to wash it over our tongues. So it's a loud, people that...
And you're doing it off the spoon, right?
Yeah, you're doing it off the spoon. You're going to get that coffee in. Yep. And sometimes it's like, I actually am kind of a physical, I kind of tend to push my head back too to try to get it. I don't know, maybe that just helps me aerate. But there's this whole thing of like cup through it, right? Like as a cupper, like you should be able to cup and not spit and still be fine, right? I should be able to cup with a little bit of cinnamon on my hand and still cup through it. Like you have to sort of cup over sometimes bumps. But it's very personal how you cup. Like some people don't spit. I do spit. I do tend to not talk during cupping. Some people are blabbermouths, like, right? So like you'll develop your sort of own sort of way of cupping. And that's really personal. But I think like just like everything else, it's like learning how to extract espresso or texturized milk. Like you have to start at the beginning, right? And then once you get those basics and you understand how to do it, then you sort of bring in your own flair, right? Like you guys all probably texture milk a little bit differently, right? But you learned the basics. So as a cupper, like learn the basics, learn how to do it, and then sort of personalize it, right? I might go in. Why don't I taste it first? So that's yeah, I think you can go in. So that's the slurping. Okay, rinsing in between each cup. I would. You don't have to start at one. You can sort of jump in. I want you to cup the table twice. And as this is the point where I want you to start like thinking about words. Like even if it's just one word per sample, like just like sort of catalog a word. So you're trying to push the coffee across your tongue, right? If you choke on it, you've done it right.
Right, yeah.
Too, yeah.
Can I find a good size for my slurp?
Yeah. Yeah, let's go through twice. As the coffee cools, it changes. Often you can taste it better as it's a little bit cooler.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it just gives you another round of those sort of, like when I'm cupping, often when I cup through first, I like start to like make little mental notes. And in my second pass, I'm kind of confirming them. Okay. Like if I thought, number one tasted like chocolate, and the second time I go around, I like kind of go, yep, that's chocolate. Yeah. Said bucket would Maybe a slight overreaction. Of number 3? Yeah. Oh, great. So if you're done and you want to just throw the rest of your disgusting spit, just throw it in the bucket. Throw it in the, get used to throwing it in the sieve, because the sieve grabs grinds. So when we dump it, we don't throw grounds down the sink. So I'm sure by now, like, there's probably a favorite. There's probably one coffee you're like, I really like that coffee, right? And the other two, so let's go by the numbers. So number 1, and as we're talking, if you want to dip your spoons back in, like I often will do that, was like if you start talking about number 1 and you say something, I tend to go back in and be like, I want to see if I taste that. So I invite you to do that. So number 1, what do you guys do? Maybe a few words, any impressions, thoughts?
Zucchini bread.
Ooh.
Orange marmalade.
I'm getting like kind of like papery, like a cardboard maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just very like
Smelling is like my favorite,
Yeah,
but then tasting is
Right.
my least favorite.
right. And sometimes on a cupping table, when you smell number 1, it's your favorite because it's your first one, right? So like that's something as a cupper, like you tend to reward number 1, right? Because it's the first time you put your nose in the coffee, right? And by the time you get to number 8, you're like, you're getting a little fatigued. So you have to like keep that, because that may have happened. Anyone else for number 1?
nutty.
Vegetal, nutty.
Really like coating in like a dusty, like kind of papery way.
Yep.
It's like the cocoa they use in Oreo cookies, like that low quality cocoa.
Oh, super specific.
Cereal?
Yeah. Grainy. Yes. So like that's a great way. Like she said cereal and then just someone said grainy, right? Like you're kind of translating each other. We use cereal a lot in cupping. Grain. Yeah. Yeah. Number 1 is a Columbia from the 21-22 harvest. This is a really old coffee. It wasn't roasted in 21-22. It was in green. It was in an importer's library in a box, sealed. We still had it available. So this was still for sale until recently. And people have cupped this knowing that it was a 21-22. It's clean, right? Like we didn't get anything like disgusting. I didn't like, oh, it's kind of papery and cereally and you know, but it's still sweet. Like you guys do candy bread. Like there's still a little bit of sweetness left in there. You know, it's it has a home, right? And this coffee's home is as hazelnut. So the roaster that bought this is going to flavor it. So they needed something that was kind of meh, kind of bland. They didn't want it to get in the way of the flavoring. They needed to be cheap. Right now, coffee's not cheap. The market is insane. So this is perfect. So this coffee found a home, right? As people who work in extraction or milk building, like you're probably not going to be attracted to this coffee. This is not a coffee that you probably want to serve a customer, right? Yeah. Okay, number 2. Any thoughts on number 2?
I feel like number 2 started off say tomatoey, very vegetable, but as I went back to sip it, it had transformed into more like vibes going more towards curry.
Ooh.
I really did.
Yeah.
It definitely does curry.
Love that.
Creaminess.
Creamy, yeah.
That creamy curry, kind of like the coconut curry from yesterday's lunch.
Nice. Love it. Which also might be a little tomatoey, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anyone else on number 2? Spices. Yeah. Yep. Yep. How about like acidity? Like
High acidity.
yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like that tanginess, kind of like a high note in this coffee.
Yeah.
I got.
Plum, yeah.
Unripe plum. Like
Tart, yeah, yeah.
Like unripe plum.
Yep,
I wrote down grapefruit,
yeah.
like the.
Yeah, so like his tart plum is probably your grapefruit, right? Those are both kind of like high acidity tart coffees. So this coffee, this was a Columbia, by the way. This is a Columbia, 21-22 Columbia. This is a current crop Columbia Huila Supremo. It's an 83. So when we cupped this as exporters, as we were trying to sell it, we cupped this as an 83, which is very good, right? It's good coffee. Like 83 is a really good score. but it's like kind of like this is a utility coffee for a lot of roasters, right? A lot of roasters are going to blend with this coffee. It's I don't know who grew this coffee. This is a regional blend. It's on, it's not super cheap, but it's on the more affordable. This is like, I'd say 80% of the coffee I cup is this quality. It's like in that 83, 84, good. I might not run out and, buy it and, do a pour over with it, but it's really, really good coffee. It's sweet. We got some notes out of it. It's really nice acidity. Like I really like the acidity on this coffee. It's very pretty. But we might not stop. I might stop there. I might not have a ton more to say about it. Okay, so number 3.
Have y'all ever had those chocolate-covered cranberries?
Yep.
Like, that's immediately what I was getting.
So like sweet and tart. Yeah. Yep.
I put juices.
Juicy. Yep. Round.
Yeah, I got like
Meyer lemon. Yeah. Yeah.
That's a good
for
one.
sure.
oh, wrong one.
Yep. I feel like this is the kind of coffee you could just keep talking about, right? You could like just throw a ton of adjectives on this coffee. It's beautiful, right? This is a beautiful coffee. Yeah, yeah. I assume this was like, this is my favorite on the table. Yeah, yeah. This is a coffee from the take it, leave it table. I wanted a Colombia because I wanted the all to be Colombia for you, right? But this is an anaerobic Colombian from Ascension Coffee in Dallas, right? Ascension's in Dallas.
It is in Dallas.
Yes, Dallas.
Customers.
They're one of your customers, yeah. Great roaster. And I do have, that's why I have the roasted left because we didn't roast this coffee, but beautiful, right? Like this is the kind of coffee we want to serve our customers. This is the coffee we want to cup all day long. But this coffee is like the 2%, right? Like in this world of coffee is rare that you can have this beautiful coffee, right? Like I was saying before, this is really, 80% of the coffee is in this quality. And then we have, this quality, which is, amazing. But as much as we want to drink this coffee, when we want to learn how to cup it, because when you're trying to figure out your notes, like Meyer lemon or like the chocolate cranberry, it's like, this is a great coffee to sort of exercise our palate and get into descriptive words. But I would just challenge you not to stay here, right? Like I would challenge you, because I think in a lot of ways, and I don't know if you would agree, this was a little bit harder to cup, right? Because you really had to sort of like, I wasn't getting hit over the head with papaya and all these other notes. And then this coffee was like really hard to cup because like I was struggling to find notes, I think I said cardboard, right? Like that's not the best, but I have to find words to describe this, right? And we can clear this table now, if that's okay with you. Where we're gonna go next, I should have had you clear earlier. Maybe clear and grind. What we're gonna cup next is we're gonna start to enter the world of trouble. Okay, so as much as like this is like old coffee, it's not great. There's like, this isn't trouble in my brain, right? Like but trouble enters the equation when there's a processing issue, a drying issue at origin. Something's happened to the coffee and it's making it into the realm of defect. Okay, has anyone cupped a defect that they know of? Yeah, was it intentional or intentionally cupped a defect? Yeah, intentionally cupped a defect. Yeah, yeah. And that's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna intentionally, what did you say? What?
Oh, I was saying we just did it at work last week at my place. So.
Oh, okay. Intentional cuppings of defects is really great. I would say like if you have the opportunity, someone saying I'm doing a defect cupping, do it. Because it's really hard to replicate defect cuppings because a lot of defects are not visual. So like I can't look at a bunch of green and say, this has phenol or this has potato. But so the opportunity when it arises, what we want to do today and why we want to sort of train ourselves on defects is because you're going to more likely be in a situation where you cup or try a coffee and you're like, something's wrong. I don't know what it is, but something's wrong, right? So now maybe we might know like, oh, it's old, right? Like if I taste paper or cardboard or cereal, like that might be old. But I want you today to taste a defect that's more on the agricultural piece so that you can be like, that's a problem. We might want to recup it. We might want to revisit this. We might have a customer. Like, has anyone in your travels or where you work now work with coffees from East Africa? Rwanda, Burundi, the Congo. Anyone know what defect is like the big one out of that region? Potato, right? So this is one.
Sorry.
Yes.
Just a question.
Yeah.
What would it do to the coffee to cause the defect?
It depends on the defect. So not every defect is the same reason.
Potato. What?
So they've for a long time didn't know what potato defect was, and now they're attributing it to a bug that bores into the cherry and leaves like a little bit of like spittle behind. Okay. It's not a visual defect.
So if there's a potato crop nearby and
no, it has nothing to do with the potato. It tastes like potato. So it's the one defect where I feel like you can that's all you need to say, because when you guys taste a coffee and you're like, this tastes like potato, you have cupped the potato defect. It's as easy as that. The other it's like raw potato, but not every defect presents itself that way. The two defects that we're gonna cup today, one's gonna present sort of similarly, like I'm figuring like, yeah. The other one might not. It might not be present itself so openly. And the reason why we wanna cup defects as importers is like, we're kind of the stewards to quality for you guys who are either roasting your coffee or buying roasted coffee. I have to make sure that the coffee that I'm selling you doesn't have a defect. If it does, we deal with it, right? It's not, you don't throw it away. Again, we're always trying to like reward the producer, not punish the producer, but we have to act on it. So as an importer, as we cup coffees in a setting very similar to this, if we come up with a defect and it hasn't shipped out of the country yet, so we're doing our Colombia, we bought all of our Colombias, and now got our pre-shipment samples. So the harvest is done, the coffee's been processed, it's been dried, and now they're sending us a sample. This is your pre-ship. This is what the coffee's gonna taste like. So then the importer who's bought the coffee has to jump in and taste all the Colombians, and we're looking for defects, right? We're looking, if I thought on the offer sample that it tasted like milk chocolate and cherry, and it was clean, and then when I get my pre-ship sample and it tastes like dark cherry or dark chocolate and not milk, it's still approved. Like, I'm not getting granular in the details, but if it has phenol or if it has mold or if it was East African potato, then it's gonna set off an alarm for me and say like, I have to address this. We've got to now talk about it. The first thing I would do after that, I would immediately set up another cupping. So I've cupped 5 cups, 1 cup had a defect. Now, my stewardship is not to run back to the exporter or the producer and tell them about it. I gotta do it again, right? So I gotta cup another 5 cups. They're clean, okay, great. I'll cup another 5 cups. Clean, great. We can move on. We're probably gonna approve that sample with like a note to the exporter, like 15 cups, 1 phenol, but we're still gonna approve the sample. And this keeps that communication between the importers and the exporters going. Now the exporter knows we had an issue. Phenol is often, they're not 100% sure, but probably a drying issue. We may alert, they may say maybe we rushed through our drying. Maybe it wasn't dried properly. As roasters, so some of you I know are roasters or working with coffee, if your roaster invites you in, okay, now the coffee's landed, yay, we got it, we're gonna start roasting it. And they might get an arrival sample, right? So coffee's left origin, been put on a boat, it's arrived at port, it's been cleared into the warehouse, it's been put on a pallet. You're gonna taste the arrival sample. And again, if you liked it because it had cherry and chocolate, and now it's strawberry and dark chocolate, still fine, right? Like, no problem there. Might have changed a little bit, might be 5 months after it was grown. It's an agricultural product. But but this is where I want you guys to become cuppers of issue, when you cup it at this stage, you have to know what phenol tastes like, what mold tastes like, what old tastes like, so that if you taste any of these things, you can now open the conversation up, not with the exporter, right, but now with your importer, right? So now we're gonna get on a phone call and you're gonna say, hey, Gerra, we cupped it, and we have phenol issue. And so I'm probably going to tell you, if you've never cupped before, I may be like, okay, why don't you? I'll cup it again. But if you and I know each other really well, and you're a cupper, I'm going to take your word for it. I'm probably not going to challenge you much. I'm going to be like, yeah, you're a cupper. There's phenol in that. And then becomes a negotiation of maybe we probably either get a claim on it, or I might give you a credit for your next purchase. Or you may say, I can work with it. I might dark roast this. I wasn't going to. There's not like a return policy on coffee, but it starts the conversation of like, how bad is it? What do we do with it? I can't tell you how many roasters don't know what defects taste like. And they are roasting coffee that has issue and unaware of it. There's so much power in knowing when there's a problem. Again, we're not hunting for it. We're not looking for it. Every time we cup, we're not like, where's the problem? But once we identify what that problem is, we can start a conversation about how to resolve it. The next cupping is going to be very similar. And it's going to be even more important that we rinse our spoons. The defects that we're using, like I said, a lot of defects aren't visual, so it's hard to create a defect cupping. So we're going to be using synthetic defects. So the way we make synthetic defects is they're soaked in a chemical solution. It's food grade. Don't worry, you're not going to get poisoned today. But it's strong. With our cupping bowls, we have 11.5 grams of coffee in each bowl. I'd say there's probably like 25 beans, and we're going to use one defect bean, and that one bean is gonna defect the cup. It's gonna be strong. Often when you're cupping for defects, they won't be this strong because they're not synthetic. And when you're when they're grinding right now, like the room that is next to them is going to smell the defect. Like we're creating a little issue out there because one of them is incredibly strong. So when you're cupping in your own setting, most likely you will not smell it at this strength. But now you'll know what it does smell like, and so that if you get traces of it, you'll still be able to identify it. Well, that's where, like, as importers, like we'll probably give it 15 cups. We give it 15 cups, so like 3 cuppings. Just give that coffee a chance. Often, like especially with phenol, it'll keep coming up. Like it'll come in 1 cup, and the next time it might be another cup, and then the red flag goes up. Yeah. But then I think there's also there's post-harvest issues too. Like sometimes like a roaster will burn their coffee, or they'll tip it, or they'll scorch it, right? Like that's a roasted issue, right? So I think as you're cupping, like you'll notice this is a very, very light roast. This is a cupping roast. So when you set up your own cuppings and you start to become cuppers, like the roast is very, very important. You want to be on the lighter side. It might not even be a roast that you do in your own production. You want it so light that you're tasting defects. When you roast down, like we start putting a city roast on it or a dark roast, a lot of defects go away. Like you won't find them. So when you're doing production cuppings, which does anyone do production cuppings as a roaster? Like you're just checking in with your coffee the way you roast it. So it might be a city roast or a dark roast, and you're checking in on it. That's not a moment to really find a defect. Like even potato probably would come through. A lot of times phenol won't come through, and you won't know you have an issue. So when you're doing cupping roasts, they has to be very light to find the defect, so it can present itself to you. Which is also like a way that importers will sell defective coffee, right? That's like I won't sell you a defective coffee without telling you, but I may say like I have a landed container, it has some issue. It's been cupping with a little phenol, but like I know the roasters in my book that roast very dark. So
sell it for less money.
I can sell it for less money, and they'll know, and they'll be like, oh yeah, no, at phenol I can do. Like I can do a little dark roast. They'll probably still pull a sample, or they'll flavor it, right? So it's not like every coffee has a home, right? It doesn't have to score 89 for it to find its home. Those defective coffees, those older coffees, they still have homes. I'm curious, while we're waiting for them to come back with the ground coffee, Is there anyone that thinks that they might like move into importing or make cupping part of their careers? Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've taken the sensory intermediate course with the ITA, and I really want to like move into that direction.
Yep.
I currently got hired as a cafe manager, so I'm here now. But like my long-term goal is RMBA from Buffett Point.
Yep. So cupping is going to be important for you to be doing now more and more, right? Yeah. And I think that's another great way to use cupping is with the public, right? Is to once you figure out how to do this and you can translate it to your customers as almost like an event, or like you want to unveil a new coffee, kind of like Morgan was talking yesterday about her signature drinks, right? Like you can do that with cupping. You can invite people in and be like, it's Burundi season, and we're like got our new Burundi, and we're gonna cup, and it's like this learning moment with your consumer. Your roaster can be a really great resource for cupping. Like I said earlier, when people ask me to cup with them, I'm always thrilled. So like if you want to cup more, the first call I would make is to your roaster and ask them if they're cupping and could I cup with you. And then the next, if you're is ask your importer. Like I don't know if you have people come in, but like we have people coming in all the time, not necessarily to like taste something that they just bought, but just to like exercise their cupping skills. Because these skills, it's like riding a bike. They will start to fade. Like you really have to keep up on your cupping skills. And it takes a really long time to be a good cupper, right? Like every cupping won't be like this where you're having like, that there's an issue on the table. Like a lot of cupping is cupping 83s and 84s and learning how to cup those and score those. So I would say like your importer, your roaster, and just get those cupping skills going. So this next cupping, we have 3 coffees that are going to be on the table. There are some defects here, so we're going to be like on the lookout for them. And then there's going to be a cup in the middle, which is going to be like our control cup. And I'm putting that on the table if your palate needs a little bit of a break. It was the 83 on the last table, number 2. That was like just like a nice Colombian. That's going to be the center coffee. So like if you're cupping, you just sort of need to recalibrate to like what back. You can cup your control coffee at the 83. Okay, so we'll go through it kind of quickly on the nose, and then we're probably going to go right into water. Just for time, I just want to make sure we get through this cupping. Awesome. All right, so here's our control. This was a hard one for them to grind because, like I said, we're adding a defect, so they had to be very mindful of where that defect was. So these are all ones. 1.
Wait, so were you just doing one table?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We're going to just do. Yeah, we'll do one. We'll do one on each table instead of doing the mirrored.
Okay.
So these are both 2s?
Yeah, but
Yes.
Those are all 2s.
Okay. Thank you. All right, guys, let's get into these. So number 1, number 2, number 3, let's start smelling them. And then we have water. Do we have the water too? Oh, awesome. The water's all.
fill up water or no?
now you've figured out my trick. Anyone have any early thoughts?
Yeah.
Anything in number 1? There's nothing in number 1. No. Number 1 is just a Colombian, right? Nothing's wrong with number 1. How about number 2? Anyone getting anything out of any of the cups on number 2? Clorox?
Yes. I got alcohol or something very strong, like
Yep.
ammonia.
In both cups?
No, and the second.
Mostly this.
Well, at least me.
Yeah, in the second cup.
There's
Sorry.
This is like when I drink something after I've cleaned the floor, and I still have the.
That's kind of like Clorox, right? Yeah. Anything in number 3? Does anyone smell anything in number 3?
smells like perfume.
What's that?
Like perfume.
Perfumey? Okay, I just want to make sure that they're,
Number 2. Yeah, it smells fun.
yeah. So this one, yeah.
Not like good fermentation, but bad type of
Yep.
fermentation.
Yep. So our noses are already telling us there's some trouble on the table, right? Like maybe this is fine. We've got an issue here. We've got an issue here. So we're gonna go ahead and pour. So if you didn't pour last time, want to just grab a jug and pour these out, and we'll time it for 4 minutes and go. Is there any water in it?
It feels like there's one. It's heavy.
You have to push the button.
You gotta pop it. It has to pop.
That's a pop.
Oh, is that one that was weird?
Oh, maybe there's one of these. Maybe one.
And then if you could hit the control one, and then I'll get a clearing bowl.
I like how they're both like, you gotta push the button.
Here, too.
And could you hit this one and they had a water? Oh, you got it? Okay, good. And then this guy. Yeah, that's perfect. Does the other room smell like bad things? Smell like bad things? Did we like just poison that room up? No, it wasn't that bad. Okay, good. So I would go back in and smell it now, because you're gonna get a slightly different experience. Was it wet? Yeah. Is that amazing?
Yeah, trust the same.
Yes. Yes.
Slice right into your nostril.
Yep. Yep.
Gosh. I never smelled that before though. So that's good.
It's hard to find.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, smell this thing. It smells really bad.
Yeah. Does this smell bad? This milk turned? If there's one you're particularly interested in breaking, you can stand in front of it. This is where it's going to be very important for us to rinse, obviously. Right now, we're starting to understand why we have to rinse our spoons. Like, we have to be very careful not to drag issues from cup to cup. So hold on one sec. All right. get in there. I know no one's want to break number 1. Boring. Yeah, so break it with one spoon and get in there to smell. There you go. And now once it's broken, if you want to get like your nose in there and let's smell it up. And we'll break this one too. Yeah, it helps.
I feel like I need some saline or something to do.
I know.
Because otherwise I'm like, am I just transferring? Like,
I know. I just have to double check one more thing. Okay. You want to clear this one?
Thank you.
You want to clear?
Yeah. Thank you.
Putting it into that one, right?
Yes. Can we get some clearers on here? So when you have 2 spoons, this is a spoon for you. Anyone else want to clear? Anyone who hasn't cleared yet? Yes. Awesome. You can use this as your dump cup, rinse. Yeah. So this want to clear? Someone who hasn't cleared yet? Want to clear the middle one there? It's such a muscle memory. I'm actually kind of glad you did it, okay? So she did not clear her spoons, and we know that there's a defect in one of these cups and not a defect in the other cup. So by not clearing her spoon, like, did she poison the non-defect cup? We don't know.
Let's see.
We're gonna find out, right? There's one of my friends. I actually asked her to do that because I wanted to experiment with this. So thank you. But this happens a lot, and this is like that whole muscle memory about cupping is like, it doesn't seem like a big deal. It almost seems like kind of nitpicky that to stay clear, but now you can see like, maybe we, but if that did happen in a scenario, you'd know you did it, and you'd probably just put 2 more cups on the table. And you'd be like, okay, it's fine, yeah. Nothing's broken. What are you tasting or smelling so far in cup and number 2? What do we think?
I got tobacco.
Tobacco? Mm-hmm. Let me ask you this. Number 2 and number 3, which one was like more offensive? 3. Right. 3. So number 2 more offensive? Yeah.
I thought this one was the worst.
Especially warm.
Since the beginning.
Like once the water was.
Yes.
When they were dry, I thought 3 was more obvious.
Yep.
But when they're wet, I thought 2 was more chemically.
Yeah. So number 2 has phenol, is a phenol defect. And number 3, you guys actually all sort of nailed this one, is mold. All right, so there's a synthetic mold in number 3.
So I got burnt hair. Like, when you go to the salon.
Yeah.
And like you smell that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Like acrid, yeah. But you said bleach, you said cleaner, like there was a lot, was that all number 3? Or was that number 2?
It smells moldy.
No, you said mold, yeah, you nailed it, yeah. Number 3 is one of them, is like potato. When you smell it, you know it's there. It really presents itself. It's gonna be hot, but I'd really like you guys to try it. It tastes like mold. Mold's a drying issue in coffee, so the coffee's been improperly dried, and it's literally started to mold. Sometimes it is a visual defect, like you might see it in the green, but not always. Sometimes you just don't see it until you grind it. You might even pass through roasted.
Try more of the funnel.
The phenol?
Yeah.
Yeah, so phenol is a little bit harder to find. Some people find it to be like astringent, chemical Soft phenols can pass. Like it might just taste like a little bit even more acidic. This is a very strong phenol. It's probably would not be the strength to which you cupped it, and they're still trying to figure out what causes phenol.
I get what you're saying, yeah.
This is probably the most common defect that you will find in coffee, and I find it the origin that I find it the most in is Colombia.
What produce it?
They're still trying to really sort of figure out but probably in the drying and the processing.
That's just bad.
Which one?
This is great.
That one.
I feel like
You get it? Like it's yeah.
totally get it.
Right.
I can recall how I have tasted coffees that had that proper.
I know regular coffee before I do this.
Right.
I feel like I can recognize it.
I feel like I tasted this before.
Yeah.
You probably have. It's probably the most common defect. Right.
Yep.
But it's still
as intense.
right. This intensity is going to be rare. It will be the one you come into contact with the most. Mold. I actually don't think I've ever cupped a mold outside defect cupping. Oof.
I'm having a hard time feeling this one
Okay, so
since the smelling. I
you're not tasting it.
no. So this is
This one was so.
Ja. Has iedereen niet eating this.
Wow, that was a good whistle.
That was good.
Amazing.
It might be stronger on this table. The mold.
the mod, yeah.
It was in this cup on the. Try it over here. Awesome.
It's a cup of coffee that
Okay, so we did it, guys. It's 11. Barely by the skin of our teeth. Again, just sort of recapping, the Linné kit is in this building, so I'd really encourage you guys to like continue this sensory journey and get over to that Linné kit. Anyone have any questions before we wrap up? We can also talk after the class. We'll all be here all the rest of the day. Thank you so much for coming to this cupping of trouble, tasting trouble. I really appreciate you guys. My laptop is not connecting to the monitor, so I don't have the QR code.